passiamo al nostro ospite successivo, un ospite illustre, è Yann Maigron, direttore della ANFR, che è l'agenzia nazionale che si occupa dell'allocazione delle frequenze. Mr. Maigron, we are very happy to have you with us in our workshop. And which is the relationship between blockchain and frequencies?
Well, sorry. In France, we believe that there is much future for the blockchain in several sectors. And one of these sectors is frequency management. As I will try to show you, there are several difficulties that we have to overpass to be sure that this blockchain technology will be quite used in this domain. But we are sure that once we have passed this first step, it will be obvious for of us that this technology is perfect in several terms that I will try also to show you in my presentation. One of them is that frequency transactions are quite like money transactions. They are to be done between users that don't know each other. So when one frequency passes from one user to another user, it used to be done through a trusty third party, which is in France, for instance, the ARCEP, the authority that manages operators, or the CSA, the authority that manages telediffusers. And we believe that this is a quite heavy process, and that we could simplify it and help a second market of frequencies emerge from this blockchain. But this will not be done directly like that. We have to experiment little by little what are the blockchain features and what could be the difficulties to make it, to implement it in the real society. So we have decided to launch a MVP, a minimum valuable product or project, to be sure that blockchain is a good use case for frequency management.
Thank you. Do you think that, for example, the auction we have seen in Italy for our frequencies has got a result unexpected? Do you think that the experience of Italy could be a model or a best practice for other countries in Europe?
Well, of course, I think that everyone and every experiment should and must be very precisely viewed by others. And what's happening today in Italy is very important, and we have in all our European countries to see perfectly how it works and what are the mainspring of this process. I think that in France also we need to understand much in detail what's happening today here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Grazie molto. Prima di tutto vorrei ringraziare la Fondazione Ugo Bordoni, il suo presidente, il professore Sassano, per darmi oggi l'opportunità di presentare il nostro progetto di blockchain per la gestione delle frequenze radioelettriche. Prego loro di scusare il mio italiano un po' ruvido e per rispetto per la lingua di Dante continuerò la mia presentazione in inglese. As we all know, blockchain is largely considered as the third revolution of the internet, a technology able to disrupt pyramidal organization, to reorganize trust models, and to reverse the balance of power between end users and intermediaries, and also to release collective initiatives. So, as many people and organizations before us, we wondered if the blockchain should be considered as a subversive force likely to defy the control of the administration, a threat for the functioning of our institutions, or on the contrary, a tremendous opportunity to diversify and strengthen the mode of action of the administration and to promote its transformation. To answer this question, we decided to dive into the adventure and to launch an operational blockchain project. Our expedition started 8 months ago, and I will briefly introduce it to you. But first of all, what does ANFR do? ANFR manages the spectrum. What does that mean? The spectrum is a set of frequency ranging from 3 kHz to 300 GHz that we use when we watch television, when we mobile phone, or when we microwave a pizza in our kitchen. In reality, radio frequencies are everywhere. They flood our everyday life. They are the raw material of innumerable activities and services. So, to work together, they must be managed, that is to say, used with discipline. Frequency is a little bit like speech. When somebody takes it in a meeting room, we hear him and we understand what he says. But if everybody grasps it at the same time, it's the hubbub, the cacophony. This is the reason why most frequencies are assessed individually to each user. But certain frequencies may be used freely, that is to say, without prior authorization. For instance, Wi-Fi frequencies, or frequencies that are used by wireless microphones during special events, such as sport, political or cultural events, or more generally speaking, frequencies that fall under the general authorization frequency bands. In this common property, frequency bands, new services are proliferating through the use of the tens of millions of IoT devices that surround us. And thus, the risk that systems may collide and that the quality of service may collapse is increasing dramatically. So, to avoid the so-called tragedy of commons, the agency decided 1 year ago to develop on the blockchain a solution for booking frequencies in the general authorization bands. Site managers, event organizers, or end users may, if they wish, use this solution to prevent the risk of interference. Because it is based on a blockchain, this solution will guarantee the integrity, the transparency, the traceability, the auditability of frequency reservation. It will also promote collaborative self-management of frequencies by the user themselves and without relating on a trusted third party in bands where freedom of operation prevails. A blockchain project is not a project like others. It has three major dimensions. First of all, it is in essence a collaborative project, open on an ecosystem. It is also a technical project. And at last, it is a transformation project. I used to say that starting a blockchain project in the administration is somehow like solving a mathematical equation with several unknown factors. To simplify the statement of this equation, we thus decided to freeze a few variables. The first unknown factor is the adhesion of the ecosystem to the project. And our objective was simplicity. First of all, simplicity meant simplifying as much as possible the ecosystem impacted by our project. We had to choose, when we started our MVP, between two options. The first one was going fast, and the second was onboarding all our friends, which means all the administration with which we are working, in our expedition. We opted for the first one. We favored speed, time to market, rather than the search for a general prior consensus. This is the reason why we addressed an issue on which we had a free hand, the issue of the general authorization frequency bands. We bet that the experience and the benefits that we will get from this project will be tomorrow our best asset to convince the administration with which we work on a daily basis to increase and to develop, to extend with us the use case of this MVP and this blockchain. Simplicity also meant choosing a simple architecture. We opted for a private blockchain implemented on Ethereum and associated with a consensus of protocol by proof of authority. 3 reasons for that. The first reason is that we wanted to avoid mining and the complexity of miners' reward models. The second reason was to favor a simple and energetically sober solution, consensus process, and the third one was to guarantee the future portability of our solution onto a public blockchain, that is the Ethereum blockchain. Simplicity finally meant developing a simple user interface. The key factor of success of our solution will be the user-friendliness of the frequency reservation interface and its ability to hide the complexity of the underlying blockchain technology. The second unknown factor of technical requirement is the technical requirement of the project. Our conviction is that the acculturation of the administration to the blockchain technology is essential in this early stage of acquisition of the stakes, risks, and opportunities of this fast-growing disruptive technology. Essential for the administration to speak the same language, to share a common understanding of the blockchain issues, and to collaborate on joint blockchain projects. Essential also to see further, to understand not superficially, but in depth, the mainspring of the technology, its potential and limitations, and the social transformation promoted by the blockchain model. Third unknown factor, the social impact of the project, and one imperative, giving meaning. The collective imaginary often associates blockchain and productivity gains. Blockchain is much more than that. Yet it relates to the organizational models, to the nature of the relationship between the administration and the civil society, and to the principle of sharing and collaborating. So, to gain full impetus and meaning, the blockchain approach should be part of the digital transformation of the administration. The ANFR is engaged since many years in a digital transformation plan that, within which the blockchain project has a rightful place. What is the status of our project today? The project was kicked off in March 2018. We are accompanied by the startup blockchain partner, which has developed the blockchain nodes and the front end and the smart contract underlying the frequency reservation service. The project has been managed in an agile mode. 6 development sprints have been run before the final delivery in September, and these runs took place between April and July of this year. And the final release is expected in mid-October and will be presented during the Spectrum and Innovation Conference that ANFR organizes every year. So will the blockchain pave the way for a new dynamic frequency management mode? Will it promote the emergence of a second frequency market in certain frequency bands? Will the agreements, licenses, and certificates issued by the agency be engraved in the blocks of the blockchains? The future will tell us. At ANFR, we are eager, in the meantime, to share with all the administrations, national, but of course also international administrations, and economic actors interested in the blockchain potential, our questions and hope about the position and the place of this new technology in the public service. Grazie molto per sua attenzione.